Hi, my name is Marisa Bozarth. I'm the Museum Curator of History for the Burlington County Division of Parks, and we're excited to bring to you another series of our artifact highlights here at the Lyceum. We're going to introduce you to a few artifacts that aren't necessarily always seen by the public, some that are, but you might not always know the story behind them. So we're very excited to be able to share these with you. This is a small little vase that is from the Mount Holly Fair in 1907. It is engraved. It's also engraved in the back with the name Frank. We have no idea who Frank is though. But we do know that it came from the fair. It's definitely glass and crystal, and was probably an award. They used to give out premiums for different events. So the premiums weren't your typical award. So people always think of awards as like a monetary award of some sort, right? For winning a horse race or for having the best pumpkin or whatever it might be that you brought to the fair. But if you were the best of the best, you would get a cash award, and you would also get what they called a premium, which meant something extra. So a lot of times it would be something like this. That would have been worth some money, manufactured locally, probably in Philadelphia at the time, that would be engraved with the fair, the date, and the winner's name on the back. And it would have been, something nicer than what they would have had typically, right, in their house. So they would have received things like this as additional awards. The Mount Holly Fair, a lot of people don't know all the history behind it, but the fair started on the courthouse grounds on High Street, right on the front lawn of the old courthouse. The fair began in 1847, and then it ended up moving up to what is now Fairgrounds Plaza, hence the name. They purchased several acres, a little over 25 acres in that area, in order to move the fair to a much larger space so that they can do more events. That happened in 1856. It was run by the Burlington County Agricultural Committee at that time. Eventually, by the 1920s, the fair ceased. They ended up having to close down, even though it was one of the largest on the East Coast. Brought in people from all over to come to the fair. They actually had Woodrow Wilson at the fair one year. And they had special train tickets. They had the largest grandstand on the East Coast. It was the place to go, not just to experience the fair, but also to exhibit your wares, your produce, your horses, and things like that. But by the mid-1920s, we ended up with several years of bad weather and also the start of the Great Depression. So people were not looking to come out to the fair. The average person wasn't spending the money for the admission. So they shut down for a period of time, about 20 years, a little bit less than 20, before reopening following World War II. When World War II ended, they decided that they should bring the fair back. People needed something happy going on in their life. They needed some excitement, ways to celebrate. So they reinstituted the fair. The fairgrounds itself had already been sold. So they ended up doing it as 1 or 2 day small events yearly, and it rotated around. It was in several locations for quite some time. And at that point is when it started being run by the Farm Fair Association that we have today. It moved, like I said, moved around until it ended up in Lumberton for quite some time before the county purchased the Burlington County Fairgrounds out in Springfield, where it is currently held today.